Merry Christmas, guys. I'm finally back home in my usual office. I will show you today multiple reasons why I opened a massive long on Bitcoin and where I think over the next couple of days we are heading in this market. Let's go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here again on this Wednesday, first Christmas day, guys. Yes, I'm in Asia. We're gonna jump directly into the charts. I don't want to waste here too much time. Sorry, guys, I got a little bit sick on my trip with my friends. So maybe I need to sneeze a little bit. Let's see, and clean my nose. But let's see how that goes here. So I'm gonna not stay too long, guys. But let's directly jump into this here. So the CME chart, I must have been yesterday, I guess, closed yesterday here at 900,000, $999,975. Now, once we're opening on Friday again, which is really funny, you know, so most likely we're gonna open for one day and then close again. So if we are opening here on Friday, let's actually check. Do we open on Friday? CME open on 27th December. Is CME open? Yes. So CME is open during that time. So I expect that most likely Bitcoin will be trading above $100,000. We could be trading at $102,000. We could be trading at $104,000. But overall, the problem that we're gonna have is that we have a CME gap that at some point Bitcoin will come down to close. So the good news is potentially that CME gap will stay open for quite a while because I don't expect an immediate rejection again back to the downside. So that might be happening at a later point. Now, what did I find on the Bitcoin chart that made me quite bullish right now, and why did I take a long and also increased my other longs on Bitcoin? So one reason for this is this descending triangle that we are seeing here. So currently we are moving here to the bottom of it, trying to break below it. To be honest, I think this is right now just a move to try to scare us out of the position, because a lot of people looking at this, especially while we are now entering here on the 50 minutes chart the breakout zone, where we should usually break out of that. So we have here a time window of roughly 5.5 hours to break out of that ascending triangle. If we of course now get here 2, 3 50-minute candles breaking here lower, let's say back to like $97,000, then this pattern might be invalidated. But for the time being, just because we are like a minute away to close the current 4-hourly candle, this doesn't scare me. You know, I have seen this before many times. You know, they try to scare you out of your position, and what happens in the next 30 minutes, we turn around, come back up, break to the upside, you know. So it's the same thing that we have seen on other charts before. So again, I'm not getting scared when I see something like this. You know, let them do their thing. There's no news, there's nothing why we should break here lower. We can also have a look in a second here at the ETF flows while I'm cleaning my nose here, which is really annoying. Oh, this is ugly, guys. This is ugly, but still 30 seconds. So let's wait here quick. The 30 seconds, what's going to happen here. I was also going to talk about Ethereum, because also on Ethereum I took a position here. And I did the same thing what I did on Bitcoin, you know, so I layered multiple positions to the downside to make sure that I will not get liquidated on this Ethereum trade. You see, you know, we're already bouncing in the last 7 seconds. So let's see how we close that. And actually, let's have a look here on some indicators. Stochastic, this, and moving average. Yeah, so the stochastic basically hit right now the bottom. The next 30 minutes, I expect here turnaround. Oh, sorry, this is too big. The RSI is already turning around. If you are not able to see that just yet, I'm going to show it to you. So look here at the RSI. So, but let it be a lesson, guys. Let it be a lesson, guys. You know, don't party too much with your friends. You know, I was partying with them. When was that? 3 days ago? 4 days? Yeah, 4 days ago and 3 days ago. And 2 days I took off and did nothing. You know, I was only trying to recover, did not recover, you know, and instead I got sick. So let it be a lesson, you know. So if you're over 30, you cannot party anymore like you're 20. So I tried, you know, you see what I got from that. I got sick. So here, so currently we're turning around. I also want to have a quick look here at the 5 minutes chart. Yeah, also 5 minutes is turning around slightly. Not really something that is worrying me right now, especially as long as we are holding the trading range. So the trading range, just if you're not aware of that, here in the past, this was all resistance here around $96,540. Here we broke back into that level, confirming it as support. And then at the higher range, $99,500 approximately is the resistance, and in between is our trading range. So even if we would get a candle all the way down to the bottom of it, I expect a bounce from there back to the upside. But right now, I just wait the next here 28 minutes to see how this is going to play out here on the 50 minutes chart. But like I said, I'm not worried about here a small move here to the downside currently. Of course, when you look at my position, it will scare you a little bit, you know, but I'm used to that. So here's another reason why you potentially move down again slightly. That is on the 12-hourly chart. The fact that we are sitting above the VPVR and the point of control of the VPVR, and we're about to close above the EMA ribbon, which would have been tremendously bullish for us to get continuation back to around $102,700, and from there potentially into a new all-time high here over the next following days. That's why bears push the price here below the EMA ribbon again. So now you see here that try to reclaim already. So most likely the current 12-hourly candle will break above this, will get us above $100,000, but we need to wait 12 hours to see this unfolding. The reason for this is really simple. The stochastic has still room to go to the upside. The MACD is about to flip bullish, and the RSI is also sharply pointing to the upside here. But not sharply. So, but slightly turning around here right now, back to the upside, unless we are breaking here below roughly $95,500 again, you know. So, and then the next level would be 92,600. Lose 92,600, and we start to enter a bearish trend here, and most likely remain there for a couple of days. But I don't see that right now. So, and then on the 1 hourly chart, so here potentially another reason why we got rejected is that we were putting in a small, what means small? So here we had this small flag pattern. So here again, it's our trading range. So if we come back into the bottom of it, $97,000, absolutely fine, you know, as long as we stay within that range. But also here we need to get a breakout pretty soon, rather sooner than later, for continuation to the upside. Here, reclaim of $98,300 will be the most obvious level to reclaim to get a move here into the $100,000 level. So you know me, guys, you know, I jumped a little bit too early the gun on this trade again, you know, so that's why I'm suffering here a little bit on this position right now that you're gonna see here in a moment. But like I said, I'm willing to hold this. I can still add more money to it if I really need to and stuff like that, you know, so I will be fine. So, but for now on ZoomX, you see here I opened in Ethereum trade. We're going to talk about this in a little bit. And you see I layered here all my orders. But my Bitcoin trade, look at this, guys. My Bitcoin trade is exploding again because I added on the way down. You know, so I followed the plan. You knew that I had widespread limit orders here. As you can see right now, I removed a lot of them to actually have more money again available and to buy Ethereum. And at the same time, I'm still up $73,000 here on my current Bitcoin position. Earlier, when we were here at the top, at $98,800, it was another $10,000 on top of that. So I was like $85,000 in profit or something on this, on this position. So don't wonder, I have more money in this account. You only don't see it currently because it's in Ethereum. So your total value $500,000 again, $500,000. So what did I really lose on that big flush to the downside? If I had to guess, it was maybe $150,000 on ZoomX. I can stomach that, so that was not even 20% of the full account. So that's fine, to lose in a flush only 20% of your portfolio and then be able to regain this, so, and at the same time having a minus $66,000 on Solana that I still get back, so it's fine, so exactly for that reason, I played everything as I played it. Of course, I did not want to get liquidated. That was my my mistake, so to have not orders properly set up that I would not get liquidated. But at least I controlled the damage that it caused to my portfolio. 20% is not that bad and easily recoverable. So guys, if you want to trade with me on ZoomX, don't forget, guys, there is a link in the description. Use ZoomX if you are in the US, Canada, India, Europe, in countries where you cannot use a Bybit. That is the exchange where you want to trade with me, guys. And don't forget, ZoomX and me have big things planned for the coming year that you're going to be able to take advantage of. So make sure that you have an account there and trade there with us together. Now, on the 4-hourly time frame, we still have this big resistance cluster here from $100,100 to $101,400 approximately. That is another reason why we got currently rejected here. The closer we get to this, the more likely it is that we get a rejection. So, but this will also come soon to an end, guys. You can only get rejected so many times before this resistance will actually crumble and we will see a move to the upside. So now here is another small downward sloping trend line. Let me actually make this a dashed line. That makes the most sense here at this line here. So once that dashed line is broken, I expect that Bitcoin will make a move here into that resistance cluster. Will we immediately break it? I'm not sure yet, but most likely we're going to do that with a little bit of a short squeeze. And I'm going to show you here in a minute where the short squeeze is coming from. The other reason why I believe that we go back up now is when we look at the MDX algo gradient. Look here, we have reclaimed the golden ratio, which was really, really important. And at the same time, price action is heating up here again into the purple gradient. From purple, you know from over here. Let me actually go over here. Here you see it really nicely. From purple, we move into red and start exploding to the upside. So here the next logical target for Bitcoin to the upside is this cell cluster up here on the gradients. So that is sitting at $106,700 to $107,500. That is the next logical target for Bitcoin here on a higher time frame perspective. Also the reactor indicator. Remember when I told you when we were here, I said with these two dot plots, we are most likely close to the bottom. We were really close to it because we were here when we got them. We got one more flush, so and then we got the turnaround. So that's why when I told you with these dot plots, because we were not here in a green section yet of that reactor indicator, I said we are close to the bottom. Maybe we have hit the bottom already, but more I was tending more to the point that we were close to it. You can go back. There was like 5-6 live streams ago where I came out and said this. So since then we turned around. Yeah, 5-6 live streams ago. So since then we put in the W pattern that I just spoke yesterday. Now we need to break the neckline of that W pattern at around $99,300. Again, another reason why we have confluence around this level. Once that level is broken here, I definitely expect here continuation at least to 102,000, maybe even straight to $104,500 in one go. On the weekly chart, so did I forgot to show you the weekly chart, guys? So here on the day, we can really quickly talk about the daily chart. Remember what I told you here when I talked about this rising wedge pattern? I told you guys, here to get the breakout here is something that I don't like, you know, so because it is too early. It was too early. The breakout should have happened between here and here, actually here, to the downside, and it did not happen. So, and I said we broke to the upside, so that was, if we should have gotten a breakout to the upside, it should have been happening after the breakout level to the downside. Only then it should have broken to the upside. So, but instead we faked out to the upside, broke then down to the downside. Now I'm telling you, all this here will be a fake out to the downside. The price will come back into that rising wedge pattern and will break then to the upside. So which is something that I have not seen many times, especially on a higher time frame, occurring, you know. So I actually cannot maybe I saw this twice in the last bull run, maximum twice that I saw something like that, but not even on daily chart, I think, you know. So I saw that on some lower time frames, but for everything is the first time, you know. So now you see here at the $99,300 level, that's also again a level here where we try to break back into that rising wedge pattern before we get continuation here to the upside. So then here is, no, it's not here. Where's my weekly? Here's the weekly. So here I give you another trade setup, guys, for Bitcoin. It's a higher time frame setup that you can play. Enter from a weekly perspective here at $99,400 approximately, and you can trade this here into the 2.618 into $114,000 approximately. So that would be a almost a 15% move to the upside. It's a 14.4% move to the upside. You have a 5.44% stop loss. So don't over leverage yourself, you know. So a trade like that, if you really want to go a little bit crazy on leverage, you know, so I would not use more than 10x, you know, so you can make 150% roughly to the upside, but you could also potentially lose 55% to the downside if it goes against you. But again, here, once you get your entry, that we come back and move over 5% back to the downside just to fake everybody out is highly unlikely, you know. So before we are actually hitting $115,000, $120,000 to the upside. So this is a setup that you can play here over the next maybe 2-3 weeks, you know. So I expect this to unfold here quite quickly in the early weeks of January. So now when we are looking at liquidity, so we have still massive liquidity stacked above us. Below us, there's not much anymore. We have some new over leveraged long positions that came in here between $95,000 and $96,000, but that's about it. The high leverage that is still in the market is sitting currently only above us. So and that comes here from 99,800 to 102,300, from 103,900 to 105,000, and from 107,500 to 108,500 roughly. So at the same time, when we here at the 4-hourly chart get in, let it be this 4-hourly candle, the next 4-hourly candle, a move above the 200 and the 50 moving average, you're going to get a bounce from the 50 moving average back to the upside, which will again put upside pressure on Bitcoin, and we're going to start eating into these high leveraged short positions that felt really comfortable for quite a while there. So if somebody would be in a short position right now, especially from up here, I would consider getting out of this, you know, so because you don't know how fast that can turn around against you, and potentially you end up with no money, you know, so while you're right now still in profit, or you get actually liquidated, you know, so I would not risk that. The same goes if you're here in that liquidity cluster, you know, I would definitely get out right now, right away. Now, I will not wait for anything. Right now it's time to get out, because one little pump here to the upside and you're done. When we're looking here on the high leveraged liquidity heat map, so then you see here also there is a cluster sitting straight above current price action all the way up to $101,000. If I go here to the monthly chart, let's see what we have here. Also here you see the liquidity is sitting above us. You know, we have here on the way down taken out everything that's here is new liquidity that has built up, which makes no sense to go immediately for that liquidity, because right now market makers will be definitely more interested to get here into these clusters here of 99,700 to 101,000, from 103,000 to 103,400, and then all the way up here to 106,400, and then to $110,000 approximately. So, and every time, I can guarantee you, when we get here in one of these clusters, you're gonna get a small short squeeze to the upside, into the next level, into the next level, into the next level. Of course, not all at once, but step by step. Now, when we're looking here at Bybit, you see here my current Bitcoin trade, as I mentioned, is currently a little bit underwater. But do you really think I will hit 88,000 as a liquidation price? Highly unlikely. I have still more money on the sideline to add more to my position if I really need to. But I think before I go to bed, this will be actually back in profit. So it was earlier a little bit in profit. You should also not forget, I'm trading on cross with 20x leverage. I would not be on 20x if I would be not on cross. That just shows you, if I have $10,000 between the current price and my liquidation price, there is a substantial amount in this account to maintain that kind of leverage. So don't follow what I do if you don't have at least 5 times or even more money in your account to open a trade like that. So if I'm trading here with $20,000, you can be sure there's still $100,000 roughly available to sustain that kind of leverage. So even if we would go to $88,000 and lower than that, so be careful with that. Now, when we look at the Bitcoin dominance is moving here a little bit back to the upside, above 58%. Not really surprising, because Bitcoin is moving a little bit to the upside. But overall, the fractal is here in full play that I had given you. I expect here over the next coming days, the first signs from a massive breakdown of the dominance, most likely here from these current levels straight into 57.15%, potentially even straight below that, then another leg to the downside, then some consolidation, and then the next leg to the downside. Again, guys, we need at some stage these consolidation phases where altcoins not doing a lot. They give back some of the profit that we made, which is fine, but of course not crazy. They maybe give 5% back, while on the whole way down here we made 40-50%. So it does not really affect us if we give back like 5% on a move like that. But just be aware of that. That once we hit here consolidation phase, after some major legs to the downside on the dominance, that we will give back a little bit of our profits. But I'm absolutely fine with that, because after that consolidation phase, we know there's the next major leg coming to the downside. And then we are sitting at 100-200% profit on some of our trades without leverage, actually. So now, when we're looking at the RSI heatmap on the weekly chart, also here you see most coins have resetted their RSIs. Completely, they're all in neutral, the majority of the coins. When we go into the daily chart, let's see here. I need to sneeze again and clean my nose. Then also here you see that some of the coins moved from weak and oversold back into more of the neutral area. Some of these coins are already overbought. Virtual, remember when we spoke about Virtual yesterday? Virtual exploded afterwards like crazy. I was unfortunately not able to take advantage of that. I wished I had, because it was a really, really strong move that we saw yesterday in Virtuals after we just spoke about this. Sorry, guys. So the total free market cap also currently trading above the $978 billion level here of that former support box. Now again, support box. What we want to see from here is now a move into the resistance of $1.04 trillion, most likely also happening over the next 2 weeks that we're going to see this. Then you get one smaller leg back to the downside as rejection, and then here our fractal will play out here with the upside consolidation, breaking through this and going then in direction of $1.4 trillion. So the only thing that I want to mention here, again, the last leg to the downside here, I don't know how how steep or how shallow this is going to be. You know, it could be that it stops here at $1.01 trillion. Could be that we come all the way back down to $980 billion. That's something that we don't know yet, but most likely we're going to get a small rejection here from the $1.04 trillion level at least once. And depending on where we're going to end up from there, we're going to get then here that kind of move into higher levels. Now my nose is going absolutely crazy. It's tickling like crazy on the inside. So now Ethereum also back in the golden ratio, about to break out of the golden ratio actually, which is definitely a bullish sign for us. Once we are reclaiming the golden ratio, I expect here a move back to $3,600. From there, we need to break back into this VPVR cluster over here from 3,000, what is this, 568 to $3,728. So that is a $200 VPVR cluster. Once we are back in this cluster here and we are sitting above $3,630, I expect here fast continuation in direction of $4,000, because as fast as we came down, as fast as we potentially go back up once we are breaking $3,550. So for multiple reasons. So here is in this candle. So here is a fair value gap that needs to be filled. Here's another one over here. So you see here's one, there is one. So, and they get usually filled in fast impulse moves. So we could get 2 or 3 candles that move really quickly here to the upside to fill them, and then we have another fair value gap here, kind of here potentially, you know. So if we're gonna get that filled here in the short term, nobody knows, but this is what I am expecting here for Ethereum in the short term. So then Solana is right now getting ready for the 5th wave in Elliott wave count. I had a look at this today and saw this on a daily chart and was looking here on the small Elliott wave count that we had here in the past. So here is so here's an ABCDE pattern also forming, or had formed. So if you look here at this, so you see here E done, then you go back into 5 Elliott wave count. And we have hit here the 4 over the last couple of days. And now with that reclaim above $193, we technically confirmed that 4 is in, and now we are starting the 5th leg. So even if you would enter right now in Solana, it would be not the worst moment to do that, you know. So if you did not get in here at like 180, at 170, what is this, $175, it doesn't matter, guys. It doesn't matter, you know. So right now, if you want to get in, this is the moment to get in my opinion. You can wait that we come a little bit lower. I would personally not wait for that, because the 5th leg here will get us into a new all-time high, you know. So it doesn't have to be much higher than the 3, but it will be higher slightly than 3. And it could go to $280, could go to $300. Nobody knows yet, you know, where it's going to go, but it will be higher than the 3. So as long as we are following this trajectory here with the price action over the next couple of weeks, we should get a new all-time high here before February, in my opinion. You know, so it's fine to hold a position sometimes a month. You know, if you get that kind of return, then so we are talking here about what is this from current price? Let's see, only to here to like almost $300, a 50% move, 5x leverage. You know, to make sure that you don't get liquidated, you make 2.5 times the money that you put in on that trade. You know, so which is absolutely fine. Now, let's talk about some of the altcoins. AAVE, again, super, super strong, guys. Now you see why I spoke about this the last time again, and told you to have an eye on this, because you see we are already back at that resistance cluster here from $372 to $385. So here, we're going to consolidate just a little bit. Oh, my fucking nose is so annoying. We just got to consolidate here a little bit before we get another move here into the $385 level. And that time, when we're going to get that move, most likely we're going to break it and break also that high here at $400 and get continuation past $400. So here, Would I currently be entering a trade? I would wait a little bit, to be honest. Let's see on the lower time frames if that would give me more confidence. No. So if you want to enter into AAVE, so that would be the range where I would start building a position. You know, I would not go all in with the amount that I want to allocate into AAVE. I would start building a position. You know, so I would put in 10% now, you know, so of the total amount. Then I would wait, maybe it comes to 365. Then I would add another 10%. My stop loss would be at a $350 just to make sure, you know. So, and if you only enter with 20%, you would not lose much, you know. So let's say here would be the middle price. What would you lose? You would lose like 0.8% of the total position value that you wanted to add it originally into this trade, you know. So, which is not crazy if you would get stopped out there. So now there 10%, there 10%, and then when we turn around and go higher to the top of the range, then also you keep adding, you know, basically every $3-4 that AAVE goes up, I would add another 10% until you're fully allocated. And then you wait for the break here. I would not add anything more past $400. From there onwards, I would let it ride, you know, because once it breaks $400, it's going, guys. You know, it's going. We are putting in here a cup and handle pattern currently at the same time, you know. So once we are breaking the handle here at $382, expect this to move. What is the technical target here? Oh, my stupid nose. It's really annoying. Yeah, you see, so that is a 20% move from $400, you know. So now if you're in here with 5x leverage, so that is 100% move. So you double your money in that trade. So which is more than enough for a trade that we're most likely going to play out in the next 2-3 weeks. Then Casper still forming here a bottom formation, most likely a rounding bottom. You're going to see here over the next couple of days at some point a candle at least retesting the 50 moving average here on the daily. So that will be already not a lot, will be like 7% move or something. Yeah, 6.6% move to the upside that you can take advantage of if you would enter right now. So if you want to play it safe, you wait for 13 cents to be reclaimed. That's the level that you want to look at. And if you're a little bit more risk adverse, you could start building a position from 12 cents point free because there's also in the past a big resistance. Oh, come on. It doesn't stop. So from there, I would expect, again, that we follow the fractal here where we get a move here into 14 cents, then a pullback, then continuation in the direction of 20 cents. The next one is Lido. So for Lido, you want to see this weekly candle close above $1.85. If we close it off $1.85, you can consider entering this here, but also be careful. Don't fully allocate into that position here just because we're above $1.85. Let her in on the way up until we get the break of this downward sloping trend line here. At the break of the downward sloping trend line, I would make sure that I have still like 20-30% of the money on the sideline, and only at this when we get the break. You know, when we get the break here and we are above $2. So somewhere in between $2.13 and $2.04, you know, so in that range, I would add the other 20-30% that I would keep on the sideline, just to make sure if it turns around one time, comes again below the downward sloping trend line, that you don't get liquidated, and have still money on the sideline to buy a little bit more, you know. So if it goes directly, what I expect going to be happening, you know, that it goes directly here, kind of like this to the upside, you're fine, you know. So then you can still add on pullbacks on the way down. The next one is Phantom. So as you can see, Phantom is not doing a lot in anticipation of the Sonic upgrade that's happening in 2 days. So I'm not expecting here, as I mentioned, nothing crazy, anything crazy to be happening over the next 48 hours here. Most likely when the Sonic upgrade is happening, oh, come on, can I sneeze now? This is annoying. Then you're going to see a big move to the upside, most likely to $1.10, maybe even to $1.23, something like that, really fast, but only once the Sonic upgrade is actually completed. So if you want to enter a position, you need to wait for this downward sloping trend line to be broken here on the 1 hourly chart. So we are most likely getting another attempt over the next 4 hours, as the stochastic gave here a buy signal. The MACD I can see also is about to turn around here in the next 2-3 histogram plots, and the RSI is also slightly going to the upside. So also here everything is looking good. Then link on the weekly chart. Here I would wait, if I want to build a new position on Link, I would wait for a break of roughly $26 or a pullback back to $22.80 approximately. So these are the two levels on the weekly chart I would be looking at, for the simple reason that we are still ranging here between $21 and $28.75. You know, we're still in this trading range here. So if you want to open positions, you have to do it between the next logical support and resistance level. And these are the levels in between, you know, so that you can have a look at here, you know, where you start building. 1 second, I just got a delivery. Okay, all good. So then Sui fell actually out of that falling wedge here. Let me adjust that. So it's still a bull flag on Sui. We did not fall out of that bull flag yet. See what I mean with my nose? It's tickling. It doesn't stop tickling. It's making me crazy, guys. It's making me crazy. I wonder if it stops. Maybe when I turn AC on, it's gonna stop again. So Sui, still one of the strong coins overall. Here also I would still wait for a break here out of that bull flag at $4.60, which is roughly another 2% move here to the upside. If you get one more move here to the downside into support of $4.43, also there I would start opening a position or add to my current position. So I'm gonna do 2-3 coins, guys, that you are looking at. Because I really want to go. It's just too annoying with my nose, guys. You know, I really want to go. So let's do 2-3 coins that you post here in the chat, and then it's time for me to go. So let's see. Zay, yes, let's do Zay. Raini, too much. Now I will not do Zay. One time is enough. AAVE. So AAVE. So let's see how AAVE is looking. Yes, we're gonna have a look at AVAX. So let's see here. AAVE not looking too bad, to be honest. So as long as on the 4 hourly chart, let's see, is it coming from here anywhere? Yeah, so you have here this upward sloping trend line. So as long as we're holding this upward sloping trend line, AAVE is not looking all too bad, but at the same time, we have here a downward sloping trend line, this one here. So you see, we are kind of forming here a symmetrical triangle. But if I wanted to build a position here, I would do it either with a move back to $16.60 roughly, or a break above $17.75. So in between, I would not do anything, you know. So either comes back or it goes up, you know. So only there I would start opening positions with at least a 15-minute candle close. So the next one that I want to do, let's see here. Do we have something multiple times mentioned? So let's do, so CAS we did already. Let's do NEAR. I did not have in a long time, I did not look at NEAR. Let's see what NEAR is doing. Yes, so NEAR looking like most of the other coins. So once NEAR breaks this downward sloping resistance line, it will start flying. So you only need to watch here on the 4 hourly chart this downward sloping resistance line, like at $5.63 currently. once that is broken, most likely you're going to get a straight move into $6.46, which is like a 10% move, you know, so really quickly. On the daily chart, yeah, on the daily chart, we are also turning around here. Yeah, so that's what I see for near. And then let's have a look at BIGTIME, because also BIGTIME, I did not look really long time at this. BIGTIME. So and then we are done for today. So BIGTIME actually trying to break here a resistance level currently. This one here. So 16 cents, roughly 16 cents. So when it goes above 16 cents, then so once it moves above 16 cents, I would also expect here a fast move into like 17 cents. That's not a crazy move. That's like a 5% move to the upside, but 5%, 5%, because it might be happening really, really quickly. If we get above 17 cents point one, however, then I would expect continuation at least to around 18.8 cents. So that would be from the 16 cent level, 18.8. So that would be a nice move here. That would be like a 17% move to the upside. But again, here's also a downward sloping trend line, guys. Don't ignore these trend lines, you know. So here, you need to have an eye on this. So, and that is converging here around 16.8 cents. So expect there potentially some consolidation before we break through that. If it's not breaking straight through it, you know, you're gonna get some consolidation, maybe a little bit downwards again, and then it tries to break this big sell cluster. Guys, I gonna run. My nose is driving me crazy. Thank you so much for tuning in here on that first Christmas day. I might do tomorrow another stream, not sure yet. So watch out for that. Don't forget, smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I see you with more money under the Christmas tree, maybe tomorrow.